We come to the fourth move, based on the 8 brocades. We're not specifically on it, just a motion really, linked with the Pilates or yogic Pilates hypnotic principles within that motion. So we're taking that motion from the 8 brocades and just sticking a different type of breathing with it, because the motions are so good. Not getting too caught up with the form, whatever, it's just motion, okay? And we're just calibrating and synchronizing and integrating that breath for the motion. So, because they're so good with these motions. So this one is called Looking Back to Eliminate the 5 Fatigues and 7 Illnesses, or Wise Owl Gazes Backwards to Eliminate Fatigue. Again, all a bit of a mouthful, doesn't really matter. This one is in the 8 brocades, the 4th motion. So we're taking the 8 brocades motions, sticking it in this sort of hypno, yoga, Pilates sequence, and then adding on another load of moves at the end, another form, 18 moves. So it's 26 moves, okay? But again, to keep it simple, this is the 4th of the 8 brocades part. Don't really worry about that. Again, you can do this singly or in the form, so it doesn't really matter. We're gonna go straight into the breathing. So unlike the traditional way of breathing into the belly like a balloon, a nice meditative way, nothing wrong with that, but we're gonna go down a different path. We're gonna go with a Pilates setup, because everything's Pilates, or every body system can be adapted into anything you're doing. So again, zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, take the navels towards the spine, okay, and as you do that, you will naturally feel the breath going in low and deep to these lower lobes and lungs. Just start with a basic breathing to start off with, breathing through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips, the basic Pilates breath, and then we'll change that in a minute. But as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals right now, you'll feel that breath going in low and deep to the lower lobes and lungs, anywhere about the stomach. And as we zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, that will help us use the pelvic floor and the corset, the powerhouse, the girdle of strength, in the most efficient manner, helping us breathe anywhere but the belly button. Okay, that will help us use the transverse abdominis, the corset, the powerhouse muscle, the girdle of strength, which supports the spine. Okay, if you're lifting anything like that, would be handy to know. You can always do that. So as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals and throw on that corset muscle, the transverse abdominis, okay, that will also help the extension force in a muscle called the lumbar thoraciofascia. But again, don't get too caught up in that. So as you do that, we're going to get the 2 middle fingers touching underneath the breastbones, and you can see where this lateral thoracic breathing, that's what it's called, helps us breathe into these lower lobes of lungs. So you'll feel this happening, probably on a lesser level and a micro move. Breathing in and exhaling. You'll feel them lungs add width to themselves. Okay, so it's helping you breathe anywhere but the belly button, help us breathe into these fish gills, 3D style. So much though you might feel the 2 middle fingers slightly parting and coming back to touch each other. Just adding width to the lungs and length to the out breath. As you keep the shoulders down also, you'll feel that breath going low and deep to these lower lobes of lungs. So we can use the pelvic floor and the corset, the powerhouse, the girdle of strength in the most efficient manner, helping us breathe anywhere but the belly button, helping us breathe into these lower lobes of lungs, intercostals to ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Okay, so as you do that now, even imagine someone's opening an umbrella inside your rib cage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside your ribs and letting go. You'll feel that naturally happen. Now we're going to go down the yogic path with it and keep the mouth shut. Unlike the Pilates breath, when we exhale, helps us fire the corset, the powerhouse, even better. We're going to keep that mouth shut as we still zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals. As you do that now, we're going to breathe in through the nose and exhale out through the nose, that smaller filter through the nose, and that'll help us lengthen the breath even longer in a yogic manner. There's many different yogic breaths, but again, smaller filter through the nose, and that's more cleansing breath, more cleansing to the nervous system. Help us filter the breath even more beneficially, but it helps us lengthen the breath even longer, okay, in a more yogic manner there. So even you'll probably feel as you do that, the out breath wants to fall longer than the in breath. Allow that to happen. Allow the out breath to fall longer than the in breath. And as you do that, as you feel that out breath fall longer than the in breath, consciously take your mind to that out breath and lengthen it. Okay, as you breathe the breath, okay, you be within your breath, that out breath, that elongated out breath, okay. And as you do that, really quadruple it, double it, triple it, whatever you like, whatever suits you, just elongate the out breath longer than the in breath. The in breath's conscious thought, the out breath's subconscious thought. So by extending that out breath longer than the in breath, we're just encouraging the parasympathetic benefits in the body, sleep, digestion, rest, and relaxation, all been benefited by lengthening that out breath longer than the in breath. And allowing that simplicity to relax the mind as you do that. You're still zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, and simply elongating the out breath longer than the in breath, helping all the housekeeping benefits in the body. Okay, all the things you don't think about, sleep, digestion, rest, relaxation, all be benefited by elongating the out breath longer than the in breath. We're benefiting the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. Again, the organs work in their own way without even trying or trying not to try. That cellular communication, all of this is just working even better. We're just benefiting that internal alchemy of the body, that rhythm of the body, that vibration of the body. Just finding our natural state of well-being on that lovely elongated out breath. You'll naturally dip in to them spaces at the peak of the trough in the breath, especially that lovely elongated out breath. So stick with that, okay, or you can get the ujjayi breath, it's slightly more advanced breath, okay, yogic breath. If you can't get it, don't worry, just carry on breathing into them lower lobes of the lungs as you zip up pelvic floor right now and scoop out your abdominals. We'll demonstrate the ujjayi breath. So grip at your esophagus. And again, the only way is to demonstrate so you can hear it, and you exhale. As you narrow the esophagus, grip at your esophagus, you'll get that sighing, whistling, silky breath from the back of the throat. Breathing through the nose. And exhale. Going to exhale for as long as you like, okay? Again, you're going to exhale. Again, you'll feel the breath coming in and out through the nose here. Again, you'll feel that coming in and out through the nose. But again, as you grip at the esophagus, you'll get this sound. It's a... soft, silky, whistling, ujjayi breath, victorious breath in Sanskrit, seashore breath, okay? And again, that helps us lengthen the breath even longer, especially that lovely elongated out breath. You'll feel that naturally happen, okay? And also helps us stimulate the thyroid gland, which helps with weight control, etc. Helps us build the heat in the body, helps us fan the fire, burn all the toxins in the body, okay? So helps us build the heat in the body, that ujjayi breath. If you can't get it, don't worry. Just carry on zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, taking the navels towards the spine. Lovely. That will give us something even more to hear within the postures, that focusing breath, that ujjayi breath. Okay, beware the sound of the breath, the feel of the breath. It weaves a tapestry of relaxation in every single organ, cell, sinew of the body. So again, it's a nice simple motion. Again, I'm just going to demonstrate it here. Again, all we're doing is breathing in and we're exhaling. Again, we're turning, the hands open out and you just turn here. Some are really simple motions from the traditional 8 brocades. Some are more far out. So just exhaling, breathing in. So you're literally turning the sternocleidomastoid muscle here. Again, you get a sort of slight dynamic stretch. There's a skewer through your head, and just turning off that skewer to stretch this sternocleidomastoid muscle here. The vagus scapulae, a lot of neck muscles are being released. Even your occipitals, slight, you're getting a stretch. Again, if you want to turn at the torso also, you can turn at the torso, bring these obliques, these external obliques in, open out the chest. Again, the pecs, even pec minor, little pec muscle getting released. As you zip up pelvic floor, we're going to exhale, turn and come back. You feel the shoulder blades slightly come back and forth together. Think of them sliding around the rib cage, just like magnets sliding around the fridge. Just accommodate that movement just enough. That's using these rhomboid muscles, the house muscles, that sort of take these shoulders in together. Okay, and help us fight back against gravity. Keeping these shoulders down, don't let these upper traps take over. Again, the rotor cuff muscles are working there. With the rectus spinae also turning, these external oblique muscles here. If you want a little turn and bring the feet in, I'll go back and demonstrate that. You're going to go back, zip up, scoop out your abdominals. We're just going to go exhale, turn, breathing in, exhale, turn, breathing in. So we've got a little bit of a, near enough a pivot there. So it's a exhale, open out the chest, breathing in, exhale, breathing in, keeping the shoulders down. Now make this out breath longer than the in breath. It's a and it's up. Again, if you don't want to do the foot part, you just exhale here or shorten the range. Any problems, bad back problems, you can just turn here and come back. But really elongate the out breath, longer than the in breath. Then gone more into the breath of all these. So again, nature's rule, not mine, just to find a balance with the breath first. But again, it's just motion with these. We're just taking the motions and putting them other principles in there. Again, any rotor cuff, it's working the sort of rotor cuff a little bit there as you're turning. Again, infraspinatus, supraspinatus, all them little rotor cuff muscles, the scapularis muscle on the shoulder blades there. But again, it's not really a sort of workouty one at all. But again, if you're coming back from really bad back problems, just even little motions are good. Just watch the hyperextension of the back. We know what to do doing this. Overusing our sort of six-pack muscle with doming out there. We're going to be gathering, zipping up and hollowing. Lovely. So we've got number 5 next, snake head swing towel, or bending over to wag the towel. Lovely, bang.